around the International Space Station.
More than a decade of construction. The U.S. cost alone, including shuttle flights, $44 billion. That's right, billion with a B, and still counting.
Okay, starting to turn.
Now, after all that time and money, the International Space Station is ready to do world-class science. Problem is, it may be scuttled before it ever has the chance.
The general idea that we would spend approximately 11 years building the space station, get it to its full operational capability, and then kind of abandon it a few years later, to me personally, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
That's exactly what might happen. Funding to keep the station in orbit will run out by 2015. The promise of cures for diseases like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's and groundbreaking research may never be realized.
We think that you can't do them on Earth, that the bias of gravity is so extreme that you really need to take it out of a gravitational influence and start, doing these things in space. Is probably the only place to get these done.
Tom Pickens' company is already reaping the benefits. A salmonella vaccine developed in space is moving through the Food and Drug Administration for approval. The last shuttle flight carried to the station an experiment aimed at producing a vaccine for MRSA, a highly resistant staph infection.
All right, almost there.
The absence of gravity allows for the rapid growth of very virulent bacteria. Perfect for building vaccines, says Pickens.
That process on Earth is extremely long. It can take up to 10 years to do if they get it at all. And we sent it up to space for really 3 trips, and we found that we already had a vaccine for salmonella just after 3 trips.
During its construction, the station has been used for some experiments, but not the kind that might produce miracle drugs and cures. Even if the station's life is extended, the science community acknowledges there are no guarantees the football field-sized flying laboratory will produce great breakthroughs. And getting funding for a maybe is tough.
You can't sell the station on science. We talked about this as a committee.
Retired astronaut Leroy Chow served on the commission tasked with providing options to the Obama administration on the future of the U.S. space program. The commission recommended flying station until 2020, not just in the name of science. There's more at stake, says Chow.
If we go ahead and stop it in 2015, that's going to break up that framework, and people will lose confidence. The different countries around the world will lose confidence in the U.S. as a leader in space exploration.
Where's NASA in all of this? Moving on.
NASA is very much an engineering organization. NASA was designed to accomplish amazing engineering feats in space.
Like Apollo, Shuttle, Space Station. With Shuttle retiring, NASA's attention is now shifted to the next engineering challenge, sending humans back to the moon. Still, the station's backers say funding to keep it flying is a no-brainer. You don't spend a fortune on a house, they say, and then abandon it. So the question is the hope of great science, not the promise, enough for the Obama administration to keep the lights on? John Zarella, CNN, Miami.